right, I think we're live. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Pretend there's music playing in the background, like nice morning intro music. We're just getting the day started. All right, today is Thursday, April 15th. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Buzz. I'm struggling this morning. I got to be honest with you. For some reason, my phone's connected to the computer like via Bluetooth with some type of contraption that allows me to play music from my phone into my system and then pump it out over the internet. But for some reason, my Bluetooth isn't connecting this morning. And so yesterday I had the same issue. We're starting the day off with no music in the beginning of the show, which kind of makes me bummed because music just kind of sets the tone for the show. But I'm pretending there's music in my head that we're listening to right now as we do this morning show intro. But really, there's no music in reality, and so it just sounds like me talking over blank space, which makes it kind of awkward because I'm pretending to pause like there's music playing, but there's no music. So, anyways, that might be a fun joke actually. If I was pretending that I could hear music and asking you guys, "Hey, don't you guys like this song?" and you guys can't hear anything. Huh, I don't know. I'm easily amused, I guess. All right, so it's Thursday, April 15th. I woke up thinking it was Friday. Anyone else do that today? I actually thought today was Friday. I was like, "Oh man, okay, game day. Let's go." And it's not game day. It's not football game day, but yeah, so today is Thursday, the 15th of April. We are on what am I on? Day 17. Day 17 of the 675-day challenge, 75 hard challenge. And so yesterday was tough. I hit the pillow and it was 10 o'clock and I hadn't finished any of my reading yet. And so at 10 o'clock last night, I had to go and read 10 pages of my book in order to complete my challenge. And I've got to be honest with you, not only is the book like super hard to read and comprehend and understand, um, I don't do well late at night reading because I just want to go to bed. And so because I didn't go to bed until 10:30, I didn't go to the 4 a.m. club because I didn't want to get, like I said, 4 hours sleep. I need at least 6 hours sleep, and I just didn't make it. But that being said, I will be going and doing my first workout right after the show gets out at 9 a.m. and going. And I went on a hike yesterday. It was a little cold. I took Benny, which is our little dog. I've been hiking up to that monolith at Stadium Park in Atascadero. If you guys haven't gone up there, I highly suggest you go do that because it's beautiful. One, um, yeah, I know what you're thinking, Mike. How can Atascadero be beautiful? I know. I've said the same thing time and time again. But honestly, it is a beautiful hike. It takes like 17 minutes to walk up to the top. There's this big metal monolith thing there, which is really kind of a cool piece of art and an interesting story. If you haven't heard the story of how that got there, you can Google it. But basically, it was there, and then it got removed and taken and stolen, and then a group kind of built it. It took it back up and built it there. But so now it's got graffiti on it, of course, because we can't have anything nice, right? It's just the way life is, I guess. But anyways, the hike is gorgeous. Get up there in 17 minutes, and then I go halfway down, and then there's like this rock face that goes back up the mountain about halfway down the mountain. And so I do that rock face climb twice, up and down twice, to get extra calories and a challenge in, and then back down. And it's about 1.8 miles, bottom top to bottom again with that rock face thing twice. I took little Benny, which is my daughter's dog, that I took him with us yesterday, or with me, and he he'll walk for miles and miles and miles, just strutting downtown Templeton or wherever, and his ears go back, and he's just like sniffing around and peeing every 3 seconds. He's like the king dog, right, walking around downtown. He does not like hiking. He went up maybe a quarter of the way up the mountain yesterday and was like, I'm done. And he just lays down on the trail. And so I'd say he's probably a 12, 15 pound dog. Um, and I ended up carrying him like most of the walk, which worked out for me because it's extra, workout, right? I had a gallon of water, which 1 gallon of water equals 8 pounds, I believe. So I had an 8 pound jug of water. I had an 8 pound jug of water in my hand. Where is it? This guy, yeah. And then I had a like a 15 pound dog in the other hand, and I was just hiking up like it was super CrossFit type regimen. Um, and so I did that. I did the whole hike, basically carrying him about 3/4 of the time, and so I felt good. I felt like I burned some calories. It was a beautiful day. Cold. I'm not a fan of this cold. When will it? I need some heat, and so. But it was a good second workout. We enjoyed it. Tonight it's a little tricky today. I've got band practice with the church, First Presbyterian in Templeton. They allow me to play with them from time to time in church, and so we have practice tonight for church at 5, and then we have some long-term guests that have been staying with us on our property illegally. Yes, illegally. The county, it's illegal. The reason why I know it's illegal is because my neighbor told on me and said, you can't have campers on your the county. And turns out these campers are traveling nurses who came out here in October for COVID, to support local ICUs. And so they've been here since October. Wonderful people. We've really gotten to know them well. They're really great friends of ours at this point. And So their last day is Saturday. They pull out finally. And so we're having dinner, a going away dinner for them tonight, or they're taking us to dinner actually, which will be nice. And so I'm balancing my workouts, my day-to-day activities, my reading, all of that with 2 added activities tonight. And so it's going to be a challenge to get everything in today, but I will do it because I'm on this challenge and it's my jam. It's what I'm doing. So yeah, at some point I'm going to try to figure out how to tell the story of my neighbor telling on me, um, but continuing to be positive about it. And so I'm not quite there yet, but I will at some point kind of figure out a way to tell that story with a positive twist. And so nonetheless, yes, we had a RV on our property that was housing 2 traveling nurses that graciously came out to California and worked in the ICU at actually down in Santa Maria at Marion. And it's interesting to get their perspective on the last 12 months of what's happened, because they've seen firsthand what these ICUs and these ERs look like with COVID. And the feedback that I got from them was overwhelmingly, it was a lot of the majority of the COVID cases were all pre-existing conditions, a lot of diabetes, a lot of just ton of underlying conditions, right? And so, but they did see younger people, right? So, a diabetic who was maybe 45 years old who was in the ICU at, with COVID conditions. And so Yeah, I mean, so we got that side of it, and then we're getting all different kind of perspectives, and so it was actually a great experience for my family to go through with getting to know people from another part of the country, and with different life experiences. They turned us on to a lot of cool things, like board games. We our family plays games, but these guys are hardcore board gamers. Like they go on cruises with groups of people who play board games. Like the board game is, or the cruise is just for board gamers. And so these guys are hardcore. They're parts of like these internet communities of just gamers. And so we got to know a lot of cool board games, which, if you think about it, you know the board game thing is kind of a dying um what is it, it's a dying activity, right? That I'm not sure is getting passed on from generation to generation. I know that with our kids, we were introduced by our campers to these board games, and then we in turn introduced them to our kids. And so we've had a lot of fun with family game nights over the past 6-8 months with Rob and Nancy, our campers, learning these games. And so uh, it was a great experience for us to open up our property, host somebody from somewhere else. They're from Pennsylvania, and they think California is absolutely gorgeous. And they think our rules and our regulations are just completely out of whack. And they think our real estate market is just completely insane too. So it was cool to get that perspective. And Rob and Nancy we're gonna miss them. They're off to Washington, the state of Washington, next to do their traveling nurse duties there. But I'm sure we'll see them again because they've become really great friends of ours, and we've just really enjoyed getting to know them. And so yeah, dinner with them tonight, and somehow, some way, I'm gonna get in 2 workouts, read 10 pages, and drink a gallon of water, and go from there. All right, yesterday's show, Mr. Lewis yesterday did not call in. He sent me an email and said, "Hey, totally spaced on it. Morning Buzz, for some reason, didn't get to, didn't remember it." And so, I guess the Morning Buzz isn't top of mind for everybody, but that's okay. Eric's going to come on this morning and talk history with us, give us a lesson. We also have, in the spirit of camaraderie and fellowship, we have 2 students from Paso Robles High School coming in this morning to talk about the cornhole tournament that they're putting on for the senior class at Paso Robles High School, which will be cool. Go Bearcats! I'm a Bearcat. Don't get me wrong, Eagles all day, every day, but I will lend some time to the Bearcats as well. So they're going to talk about this fundraiser that they have this weekend at the Ravine. It's a cornhole tournament. If Templeton wants to go represent, it's for a good cause. It's raising money for their senior class. They're going to come in and talk about that, and we're probably going to talk Paso versus Templeton football. So Presley Bodenschott, who's the ASB president, she'll be in this morning with her friend Becca to talk about that. And then, as always, Mr. Mac will be here giving us the Mac, what do we call it? The Mac attack, the Mac update. I don't know what you want to call it, but he'll be here. And then I'm going to replay the Rob Tompkins interview that we did earlier this week. It's baseball. Get to know Coach Tompkins and the staff over there. And so, in case you missed that, you'll see that here again this morning as well. So, with that being said, it's 7:14. Let's invite into the house Mr. Anthony Reed from Paso Robles Incidents and Actions. Anthony, I owe you an apology. I was down with my parents having dinner with them until about 10 o'clock. And by the time I got back up to my house, I wanted to just get my reading done and go to bed. And so I was supposed to call you. We were going to do a test on your new lighting, and we didn't. But your lighting looks good to me. I like it.
Yeah, I think I got it figured out. So I think I'm doing pretty good this morning. How do I look?
You look good. Yeah, yeah. Is it like sitting right above your head, or where's it at?
It's in the back of my laptop, so it's like sitting over like my laptop and my camera and all that stuff.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
it's good because you can't really see. I'm gonna zoom in here. You can't really see any reflection on your glasses. So yeah, I think you got it placed nicely.
all right, cool, cool. I'm
Yeah,
glad.
for those of you keeping score at home, what we're trying to do is make sure that we have our setup and our backdrop as clean and well lit as possible for you guys to make for a good broadcast. And so Anthony has invested in some lighting
Yep.
that has kind of lit up his background and his environment a little, just to kind of make it a little more bright. Funny thing about broadcasting and TV and such, if you're looking at my beanie right now, um, do you see like a lot of like squiggly lines on your end, Anthony? Okay, so
It's pretty clear.
I'm looking at it, and the pattern of the actual lines of the beanie make it so that it has a weird effect
Hmm.
on camera, and so some things don't kind of translate well onto broadcast, and you know that's why you'll see different newscasters or whatnot. They won't wear different pattern shirts or striped shirts because it kind of makes for a weird kind of effect happening. And so I'm getting a little of that squiggly lineness on my head on my end, but maybe you guys don't see it on your end, so I guess we'll
Yeah,
roll with
I
it.
know. Yeah, I know that on KSBY, like if like Dave Hovde is like doing the weather or something like that, like he can't wear like a green shirt like with a white tie, or
Right.
or else like the only thing that'll show up is like the white tie, and so
Yeah,
and
which
so
would be kind of cool.
yeah, but it's all a green screen, and at least it is for the weather department, and
Yeah,
so yeah.
well, someday maybe we'll have green screens. That'd be kind of cool. And then we'll be moving up in the world. Hey, real quick, just talk about the weather today. Let's see, it's going to be 70 degrees and sunny. It's kind of overcast and foggy right now. It's 37 degrees out here in East Templeton. We're going to have east northeast winds, 2 miles an hour. Um, I'm sick of the winds. I'm not a fan of wind. It dries my skin out. I have really bad hearing anyways. And so anytime there's wind like moving past my ears, it drives me nuts. I don't like it. So hopefully 2 miles an hour isn't bad, but they always say it's like 2 miles an hour and then it feels like it's 15 miles an hour. So
Right.
that's the weather today. What anything going on out in the world? And just so you guys know, in case you've never watched the show before, or you're just joining us for the first time, Anthony Reed, he runs a Facebook page called Paso Robles Incidents and Actions. It's got over 6,000 followers, and it's a public service that he does. It's a passion of his to kind of report and track news. And so Anthony had joined us a few weeks back, and thought it'd be a great contribution to the show to kind of pump in 3 times a morning, just any local incidents and actions to report. So with that being said, Anthony, what's the latest and greatest?
Yeah, nothing really happened overnight. There was an injured hiker
It
in the
wasn't me. I hiked. Just I know people at home are thinking, Mike, are you okay? I'm fine. It wasn't me.
yeah, there was an injured hiker. I don't see a location, but I'll work on that. There was an injured hiker in the area in San Luis. Looking on another page here to see where it's at. Slow County News. Let me find the location real quick. So anyway, they got transported to a local hospital for treatment of their injuries.
Okay.
From the video I saw, I did see that they were injured pretty severely. Let's see here. At approximately 6:34 p.m., medics responded to a call at Cerro. I think that's a hiking trail in the mountains in a San Luis, and so for a downed a hiker with a possible fractured leg. That's what it was, the fractured leg, and so she got transported to a local hospital for her injuries. Don't know the extent of her injuries, obviously, but our thoughts and prayers are with her this morning. Other than that, there was a minor vehicle versus pedestrian. I mean, a minor, like a small accident.
Okay.
In the area of Paso Robles Street and 13th Street last night here in Paso. That was in the area of the on-ramp to go northbound Highway 101. That person was not severely injured. They got treated at the scene and released. So those are just a couple of things that I know of that happened last night. So obviously, if you have any more information, you're more than welcome to pass that to me. So, and my number and all my information is on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, you can text Anthony if you have any incidents to report. He can post it on his Facebook page. It's 805 423 1541. All right, and then the other big news out of the county yesterday, obviously, District Attorney Dan Dow had a press conference officially announcing the charges against Paul Flores and Ruben Flores in the disappearance of Kristen Smart case, and so that seems to be moving along. They're encouraging people to call their Crime Stoppers information line if there's anyone. They specifically kind of impressed upon you, like, hey, Paul Flores was known to frequent bars in the San Pedro area from 2005 to present day. If you have any information that could help us, in regards to Paul's activities, give us a call. And so that sounds like they're moving forward with collecting evidence and moving that case forward. So
yeah, and one thing that Dan Dowd did say yesterday that caught me was the fact that he said in the press conference that they have an idea of where Kristen's body was buried. So I thought that was pretty interesting as well. So that just confirms what you're talking about with they have some pretty strong leads in what they are believing is the case now. So yeah.
So, all right. Well, we'll continue to stay on top of that case, and so that's exciting news.
Yeah, the both of them are due in court this morning at 8:30. So,
cool.
Yeah, so we'll kind of see how that goes after today.
All right. Well, good deal. We'll keep us posted, and we will chat with you at 7:55.
All right. See you then.
All right, Anthony. Thanks. All right, Anthony Reed, Paso Robles Incidents and Actions, checking in with us 3 times a morning to give us the latest and greatest news. Hey, I've got some cool information. Okay, so I'm kind of a nut when it comes to like listening to podcasts, and I love podcasts, and I love inspirational stories. I love people's health and fitness journeys. I'm just so into that stuff, right? You guys know me. I'm a big Tom Brady fan. I love Tom Brady. He shares the same birthday as my wife, and he's 8377 and she's 8377. So that's really cool. And so we've just always rooted for Brady since he won his first Super Bowl. It's been a fun thing in our house. Same exact age as us. He's got a brand, a lifestyle health and fitness brand called TB12. TB12 is a podcast, and they put out shows with guests all the time, and these guests are like extreme stories and athletes and just very inspirational people. TB12's whole thing is like age is just a number, right? And so you can take care of your body and your mind and your soul the older you get, and continue to perform at a high level. And so that's kind of their mantra, right? And so this last podcast that I listened to that they put out was with a guy named Robert Hamilton Owens. And so I talked about it briefly the other day. Robert Hamilton Owens, just his backstory. He was the first guy ever to be a lifeguard at 15 years old at Newport Beach. They only allowed 16 and older, but he became one at 15. He kind of found his calling when it came to athletics and swimming, and so he's his whole life been like this extreme athlete type person. He became a chaplain for the University of Nevada, Reno football team, and so he traveled with their football team for years as their kind of on staff pastor, and then just did a number of things like that over the years. He became a pastor in a church, but he's always been an extreme athlete. And he, at 66 years old, a few years ago, ran in this contest. It was 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 continents. He was the oldest person ever to do this. He finished, and and so he's known in the world as the fittest 70-year-old man, and he's training right now for an ultra marathon. And he's just he's a beast, right? And he's known in the running world. He's known in a lot of these health and wellness circles. He's just a guru, and he's somebody that really kind of is all about that age is just a number mantra. And so I reached out to him after listening to him on the podcast with TB12, and I said, "Hey man, I love your story. I'd love to share it with my audience." And it just shot him a little note, and then he called me yesterday morning and said, "Mike, I'd love to come on the show, talk to you guys, inspire your audience, tell you my story." And so I'm like super pumped to have Robert Owens on the show. I think it's going to be on the 27th, which is a couple weeks out. He's traveling a lot. He goes and speaks all over the country. But he's got some time on the 27th and 28th. So we're going to do a short kind of form half-hour interview here on the Morning Buzz with him. He's encouraging and asking me to tell you guys to make sure that we are posting wait, not bored with those illegal guests. Ben, I don't know what that means. Please elaborate. So he's encouraging me to ask my audience to interact with him when he comes on to tell his story. He's all about helping people kind of with their mindset, right? And so I made a couple notes in our conversation, and I had a 45-minute phone call with the guy yesterday. Just the sweetest man. And his whole thing starts with food addiction, right? And kind of reversing the mentality of using food as a comfort, and then shifting your mindset to use food for fuel, right? And so that's kind of what he focuses on with all of his clients and people. And he's not trying to sell us anything. He's it's really just an inspirational story that I thought that you guys would appreciate. He does have a book. He does go around the country speaking. He's still training actively. He's recovering from COVID, and he's got kind of like limited lung capacity right now. So he's undergoing a lot of tests on a daily basis to kind of see what his lung capacity is going to be. He's doing a big thing. He's 70, and so he's training for this big event. I feel like it's a 100-mile race type event at 70 years old that he's going to compete in this next year. But yeah, so he's wanting to come on and share his story, and I'm looking forward to it. So Robert Owens is his name. If you are into these types of things and you want to learn more about his story, he's asked me to share his information with you guys so that you guys can know ahead of time what he's all about, and kind of get a basis for what types of questions to bring to the conversation. But he wants it to be interactive, which is really cool. You can go see him at roberthamiltonowens.com. Let me see here. roberthamiltonowens.com. Boom, share screen. And there he is. Okay. So this is him. Author, athlete, speaker, adventurer. 70 years old, and his book Beyond Average came out a few years ago. He wrote it at 67. He competed in the 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 continents. At the age of 66, he wrote the book at 67, and he's 69 now, and so he's getting ready for this big thing at 70 years old. Was what he's training for. The other inspirational thing that he had in his backstory, which was unbelievable, was his father at 91 years old asked him to come stay with him and help him because he didn't want to go into a retirement home. He didn't want to be taken care of by anybody outside of the family. And so Robert devoted 10 years of his life when his dad was 91 to just staying with his dad and taking care of him. And subsequently ended up, making it. So the story was his dad had this chair. He loved his chair, and Robert took the chair away. And the dad at 91 goes, "Why are you taking my chair away? I love that chair." And Robert goes, "Dad, if you're going to ask me to help you get up out of that chair every time, you're not going to sit in the chair. So either you figure out and how to get stronger and get out of that chair yourself, or we're not going to have the chair." And so the dad at 91 years old used his cane, and Robert started getting him to do squats, holding onto his cane, and just body squats, just up and down, all, every day. And over the course of a few months, the dad started seeing in the quads, the guy's quadriceps, the dad's quadriceps starting to kind of redefine, and his core muscles starting to strengthen again, all the way to the point where his dad was able to get in and out of his chair by himself. And so it's cool. He said that his dad at 101 died in better shape than he was at 91 when he came to take care of him. So really inspirational story. This guy, obviously, it's just awesome story. I can't wait to share his story with you guys. He was in the Navy, I think, and he had a drinking problem when he was young, and he battled that. He was sexually abused as a child twice. I mean, unbelievable story of things that he overcame, both mentally, internally, and externally, physically. So it's just a fascinating guy and story that I'm like super pumped about. So anyways, Robert Hamilton Owens.com. If you guys want to learn more about him before he comes on the show, he'll be here on the 27th. So I'm super pumped about that. Mr. Mack, sorry, hey. I ran late talking about Mr. Owens there, but
sounds like a great reason to go long, man. That's a great story.
So inspiring. And yeah, he got involved in planning churches and just a really fascinating guy, and all the while is training for all of these ultra athletic events that he's been a part of, so really cool.
It's awesome.
So, yeah, life, you come across these people. And Ben says, glad you guys hosted illegal campers and they turned your crew onto board games. Not bored with those. Oh, okay. I get your jokes now, Ben. So fascinating people that you come across in life that you would never really come across otherwise. The 2 campers that we hosted are a perfect example of that. These people are from Northwest Pennsylvania. We never would have crossed paths otherwise had we not opened up our property to host them. And our lives are better for knowing them and knowing their story and vice versa. It's so cool. The world is big, but it's small, right?
You got to ask questions of people. Got to get to know
totally
people. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And so I've got no kind of clever transition into you. We'll just go. Happy
Speaking
Thursday.
People you should know.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, great baseball game last night. 5-0 shutout victory over SLO for our baseball team, first league game. So They a shutout. That's good. Great start.
And was that Mr. Domingos on the mound?
Yeah, he started. Gave up 3 hits. No, let's see. He didn't give up all 3 hits. He gave up 1 hit, 4 strikeouts. He went 4 innings, and then they finished up with Gavin Platt and Robbie Lardner, the closer.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so great game. Multiple people driving in runs, so that's exciting. And then shout out to the Tabor family. Gavin signed a letter of intent yesterday to play with Providence Christian College, which is down in Pasadena.
That's awesome.
I know he's super excited, and always great to see these kids who have put in so much time in their sports be able to continue and hopefully get their education partly or completely paid for, and just represent. Once an Eagle, always an Eagle. And he's the nicest kid. My goodness, he is. He's just a great kid.
Super kid for sure. And Gavin's always wanted to raise his hand, volunteer, be a part of everything. He's one of those kids that you just know he's going to show up with a smile on his face and want to help out.
Yeah. And he's got, there's a couple more coming after him. He's got one here at the high school, a brother at the high school, and then one out at Vineyard. So excited to have the Tabor family still involved.
Awesome. Yeah. So they won 5-0 last night. What's next for them? What do they have? Saturday?
Doubleheader Saturday. Again, playing Slow, 11 o'clock and 2 o'clock over at Slow.
At home?
No, Slow.
Oh, okay. Slow. Did I know that? Oh, softball's at home.
That very possibly could be.
Okay. I'm thinking in terms of snack bar helping. So
yeah. So let's see. I can tell you here in a second, I think.
Oh, you gave me the link.
I did. I always do.
There it is. Let's see.
Nope. No Saturday baseball. No Saturday softball. Sorry, buddy.
Oh, JV baseball is at home.
Okay. So there you go.
That's what it is. Okay. Good deal.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So the guys are starting out well. 6-2 now. I think they're 3rd in the division. I think they're ranked 3rd in the division. So they, kind of solid program as we always have. Solid program, solid pitching, timely hitting, that sort of stuff. So exciting to see them in action.
Good deal. Not so exciting, the volleyball results from last night, right?
Yeah. Lost in 4. We're young and we're scrappers and played on the road and it's kind of a cheesy thing to say, but definitely those scores don't reflect the work ethic of the girls. It's not for lack of effort. Those girls are out there hustling, diving for balls, getting good rallies. It's just, they just need more time together. Yeah. And COVID definitely hasn't helped that. But, teams like this, when you look at the quality of the kid out there on the court and like you said, the work ethic, this is just a chapter, if the kids hang together and kind of learn to take their lumps this year, if they need to, and learn the lessons they need to learn, they can really, our volleyball team hasn't always been good. We've had teams when they've been really good, but you got to get to that point, and it doesn't happen overnight. So good coaching staff, great quality kids. They'll be there.
Are you just saying it's a good coaching staff because my wife's a coach?
No, I would never cross your wife nor you. But it's coaches that care more about the kids than the victory. That's what makes the difference,
Totally. Yeah.
So, and we got that all the way up, not just volleyball. All of the coaches see our students as student athletes in that order and care more about their life off the court than they do on the court or whatever, field, track, whatever. Yeah.
So.
And then JV, Ellison took her team over to Paso, and they just, for lack of a better term, they just got smoked. I mean, they didn't even win a set, right?
I don't think so.
They lost in 3.
Well, would have lost in 2 for that
Okay.
level. Yeah, and
all I know is the game started at 4 in Paso. She was home by like 5:06. So it was a
they're
quick.
efficient.
Yeah, they are. Lose efficiently. Yeah, they were in and out of there, but that's all right. It's actually 2 more games that they wouldn't have got in, but they did last minute thanks to Vicky Whirling out of Paso. She's the JV coach. Everybody knows Vicky. She called Allison last minute, or Joe, and said, "Hey, we've got an opening. You've got an opening. Let's play each other tomorrow." And so that was cool that she was able to make that happen. And again, it's another opportunity for the girls to play competitively that they wouldn't have otherwise got. And so,
yeah. And 3 months ago, who would have thought they'd be playing at all? So anytime they're getting on the court and getting some experience and fun and bonding together as players and stuff, that's all a victory. It doesn't show on the scoreboard, but
no, it's so cool. All right. What else is going on? Oh,
we are trying to get all of our end of the year activities, trying to figure out where they're going to be. And we got a mess of things coming up, which is really exciting because, again, a couple months ago, who would have ever thought that we might be, having a graduation, having a scholarship night, having all of those kind of things, a senior walk where the kids get to walk in cap and gown. And I mean, here's just a list of things coming up, Mike. Of course, we got AP testing coming up in a couple weeks. Teacher Appreciation Week. I'm sure you're doing something on the show here for Teacher Appreciation Week, May 3rd through 7th. I'm sure you are. Yeah. And Scholarship Night's going to be in person, and that's going to be out at Vineyard. So we're excited about that. May 27th. We got Evening for the Stars, again, scheduled. That's our kind of senior awards for academic, athletic, community service, all that sort of stuff. Last year, we had to do it virtual. This year, it's planned for in person. Senior walk, final exams, baccalaureate, senior sunset, senior breakfast, senior slideshow. Senior slideshow, I hear the guy they put in charge of that this year, dang. I mean, they spared no expense.
Oh, no, we're renting out Century Cinemas in Atascadero to debut it. It's going to be a big deal, yeah.
Love it. And then graduation, of course, June 10th. So, and trying to, I know that the senior class officers and the principal are working hard to find a way to do it in person. Without cars, if possible, and make it as close to what it used to be like as we get closer to normal and all that sort of stuff. And that's June 10th. So we're excited about all these things that are going on, and just given an opportunity to showcase some of our students.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna put you on the spot here, and I don't mean for you to. I don't want you to. Feel like I want to throw these 2 things out there. If you can comment on it, great. If you can't, totally understand. But a few people have reached out to me asking me about a prom, which I know at this point doesn't sound like the school is having a prom, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And then the second thing is any type of homecoming celebration for the end of football season. I don't know. Are we still looking at something, or?
The school is not particularly looking at something because there were some very spirited parents that were kind of spearheading something like that, and the parents, in a private sense, have a lot more freedom than the school does in a.
But as far as school events, there's not going to be any type of. Is there a senior night? Was there going to be a senior night at football, or?
Oh, yeah. So there's a, senior night for football and cheer, April 30th.
Got it. Okay.
So that every sport has their senior deal, whatever, whatever they do. And all of them look different. But normally those occur on your last home game of your season, minus the playoffs, because you never know if you're going to make a playoff. So I believe that football, if I'm not mistaken, football and cheer, their senior night is against Rigetti on April 30th. So yeah. And part of that is my social media class puts together a kind of a tribute to our seniors on each team. So they're busily working on those. We already did one for cross country, who finished their season, and tennis, and we're working on football and cheer next on the 30th, and then on the 5th we have a couple more sports that are ending their season. So
okay, cool. Well, that's good. It'll be fun to celebrate those seniors, and yeah, the 30th is the last football game. There's no CIF for football. And so that the 30th is the end. Hey, you sent me the other day, I'm shifting gears here. You sent me a rodeo clip, and we haven't talked about rodeo here in a minute. I'm just going to see if I can download this and play this. Oh, it's just 11 seconds.
Yeah, it's just, I gave you one. We're putting together, my social media class is putting highlights together of the last rodeo, and we're going to be releasing that next week as I'm looking up the next one. I know it's coming up on I think it's the 24th and 5th is the next high school rodeo, but let me make sure of that before you announce it. And then once you announce it, 24th and 25th in Parkfield is the next rodeo. So this one is Javati, Caden Javati, and steer wrestling. Oh man, this is good stuff.
Okay, ready?
I'm ready, man.
Here we go. Oh. Look at that. That's so cool.
Yeah, we've got, our rodeo kids. That you got to be, there's something different about you if you're willing to do that. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm talking about kind of like what you were talking about with your guest that's going to be coming on, someone who's got some courage, going to step out there and,
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's way cool. The thing about the rodeo events to me that's always intriguing is that they're all kind of birthed out of real life situations as a cowboy, right? Where you have to do these types of things on the ranch, herding cattle and branding and all this stuff. So it's an interesting, fascinating sport. It's one that probably gets a lot, of course, in 2021 gets a lot of pushback for different types of things, but it's part of our heritage, especially in this area, right? So it's cool to see these traditions continued on, and exciting. And it's another opportunity for our students to be involved in something competitive that doesn't require a ball and a stick, right? It's just another alternative.
Yeah. And what a great sport. I mean, and the kids, our kids, they're so polite. They're so, the nice kids. And then you put them on a horse and they go crazy, it's kind of like our football guys or whatever, they're to know them in a class or to see them on the street, you would just think that's kind of a nice, gentle kid. And then you see them pick up this thing and throw it down, when they're competing, and then they walk off the field or the arena or whatever, and they're just normal, nice kids again.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Eric Lewis is in the waiting room. He slept in yesterday, forgot that he was going to do a history lesson with us. And so, Eric is joining us now. Mr. Mack, you're welcome to join in the history fun, or you can bounce. It's up to you.
I'm going to go, but I'm just wondering if, Eric knows what happened today in 1877. I'm just throwing
1877?
1877, yeah. This day in history.
I did. I don't.
First telephone installed.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Just throwing that out there.
I had a couple things that are related to today in my history thing, but that was not one of them.
Oh,
Okay.
that's awesome.
See, I was
All
going
right.
to talk
And,
about the Titanic and about taxes.
Oh, there you go. Hey, one other thing before I shoot out of here. So 1755, Samuel Johnson, first dictionary of the English language was published in London. I don't think that that's a descendant of our Mrs. Johnson, but hey, you never know, right?
I mean, maybe English.
Okay. That's right. Hey, all right, I'm out of here.
All right. Thanks, Mr.
All right,
Mack.
see ya.
See ya. Mr. Lewis, good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound great.
Yeah,
So-
so we'll be quick here. I'll have rolling in a second. So I kind of had two things, and they're both quick. The first one is it was actually on April 14th of 1912 at about 11:30 when the Titanic hit the iceberg. And I know we all seen the movie. I mean, most of what I know was from the movie, but there were a couple of things I did learn looking it up yesterday that I thought were kind of interesting. They had all these warnings, and if you saw the movie about that, there were these icebergs, and they kind of blew it off. And at 11:40, they hit the iceberg. It took 2.5 hours for them to sink before it really started to sink.
Okay.
And they put out distress signals, and they shot rockets. And this is the part that was interesting. A ship called the RMS Carpathia, a British ship, was the one that actually came and rescued most people. And it took them about 4 hours from the time they heard the distress. So the people were in the water for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But the original zone where the spot where they said they were was off by 13 miles. So they would have been there like an hour earlier.
Oh my gosh.
And there wasn't enough lifeboats. But here's the thing I did not know. And some people out there might already know this, but there was another British ship called the SS California, not to be confused with the USS California, which was an American naval vessel. So the SS California saw the rockets and were close. And the captain said, there's too much ice. Let's go to bed and wake up and go help them in the morning. And they actually ended up getting there later, and everyone was either dead or rescued.
Wow.
And they think, even with the limited number of lifeboats, they were close enough that they think they could have rescued everybody. And there was about 2,200 people on the ship, and between 1,400 and 1,600 died. So
wow, many people died.
There was like an inquiry on the against the captain of that ship, the SS California, and they didn't take any action. But the U.S. Senate just said that it was like a horrible thing that they did, but they didn't charge him or anything.
So do they say how close that SS California was?
Close enough to see the rockets. I think they said 13 miles.
So, wow.
I think it was 13 miles, which was about an hour in those days, probably.
Unreal. Wow.
I have students coming in, so I have to mask up.
Oh, there you go. Hey, I didn't get a chance before we go on to the next one. Just a real quick prop and shout out to you for the hard work that you did to get these kids back to school next week. I know that was something behind the scenes that you were really working hard on, and you kind of touched on it a little over the break. But yeah, hats off to you and all the things that you're doing.
I appreciate that, and I think it's just I said things that other people wanted to say. The funny thing is I didn't. It was really impromptu. I was listening to the board meeting, and I, heard a lot of parents. Pretty much everybody spoke in the favor of coming back, but it was kids and parents, and I just said, and I wasn't even going to chime in, and then kind of at the last minute, I just decided to chime in.
Yeah.
And it's funny because at the time I didn't really know that things were going to happen. I literally showed up in my room the next morning, and there was like 5 teachers came by. Yeah, we need to do this. And that's kind of what
great.
Got it going. And I didn't even think about it, to be honest.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for your leadership and putting yourself out there. That's huge.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
Yeah.
And it is kind of selfish, I'll be honest, because distance learning stinks, and it's hard to do, and it's much easier to have kids here. And that's why most of us teach are here, is for the students. So
for sure.
So
all right.
Really quickly, I'll make it really quick so you can move on, and I have kids coming in. But today is traditionally tax day. It's actually moved to May 17th. I know that because of COVID, they moved it back. But traditionally, April 15th is tax day. And I don't know if a lot of people know that taxes were actually considered unconstitutional up until 1913. And that we did have income tax, that is. And we had almost most taxes were paid by excise tax, like on tobacco, alcohol, property tax, and sales tax. And during Civil War, we did have an income tax, and then it ended after the war. And then in 1894, there was they instituted an income tax, and it was challenged to the Supreme Court and kicked out. And at that time, that tax was 2% on over $40,000, when $4,000 was like really rich. So they needed more money, the government, and so the 16th Amendment was introduced in 1909 and passed in 1913. And that was when William Taft, our heaviest, I'll use the politically correct term, president. And the initial tax was 1% on up to $20,000, and the top tax rate was 7% on $500,000, which is like a ton today.
Yeah.
And now our highest tax rate is 37%. So I just thought that was interesting. I teach econ, so I do go over that. So
that's crazy. Wow. Well, thanks for sharing that stuff with us.
Yeah, useless trivia.
No, I love it. Yeah. That's
all right,
good
Mike.
stuff.
I will talk to you next week, buddy.
All right, Mr. Lewis. Thank you, sir. All right. See ya. All right. Eric Lewis giving us our history lesson for the day, talking about taxes, also talking about the Titanic, which I had no idea that there was a boat 13 miles away that could have saved most, if not all, of the passengers and the crew of the Titanic had they responded to the rockets that they saw. Unfortunately, they didn't. The other boat did, and they were 4.5 hours later, and it ended up, he said, between 1,400 and 1,600 people died on that boat accident. So unbelievable. That's a massive U.S. tragedy, right? That was so long ago. All right, Christine Ames in the chat has said prom is being held May 8th and sponsored by the Senior Parents Activity Committee. Mr. Aston has approved the flyers to be distributed at THS to promote the event. Those will be out next week. That's good information. I did hear also that it's a senior-only event. Christine, maybe you can verify that. But I believe, yes, it's only for seniors and their dates can be underclassmen or other classmen. I don't know. I'm just shooting from the hip here. I just do what I'm told. I have no idea if that's in fact truthful or not. But all right, it's 7:58. Mr. Anthony Reed might have fallen asleep. I don't see him in the waiting room yet, so we'll wait for him to come in. We've got Paso Robles seniors coming in to talk about the cornhole tournament. I have their flyers somewhere that I'll pull up and find that, but they are raising money for their senior class. And oh, look, it's they look like it's carpool karaoke. This is carpool karaoke over here. How's it going, girls?
Good. How are you?
Good. What song are we gonna sing?
I do not have a singing voice.
No, this is the new rule. If you come on the show as a guest, you have to sing a song before you start to talk about what you're going to talk about.
That's okay. Stupid.
Ready? What song?
What song? We have to do this song. Sweet Caroline. Okay. Just do the little part. It's fine.
All right, go. Sweet Caroline, go.
Sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum.
That's it. That's all we get. All right, thanks. I just totally made that up. You guys don't.
I kind of had a feeling you did.
I did, but it was worth it. It was totally. I think I'm going to start doing that though. That's great. But seriously, like you guys are straight out of a scene from Carpool Karaoke right now with this dashboard cam going.
Yeah, right, we got school.
Okay, Presley, who do you got with you today?
Okay, so this is Becca Permenko. She's on the senior class board at the high school. And then Hannah is our ASB secretary, so she's on the ASB board with me.
Awesome. Well, hello, girls. I have a jacket like Hannah. I was going to wear it this week, but I can't because Templeton's playing Paso. And so it's a big rivalry week. Yeah. Which, yeah, who's going to win that game?
I mean, Our football team has kind of been throwing us surprises recently. They just won last week, so
Yeah, what's up with that? All right, well, it'll be a fun one to watch. You guys aren't allowed to go though?
no, I don't think so.
Okay, well, I heard a rumor that most of the Templeton student body goes and parks outside the fence and lines the whole fence line and does kind of an impromptu tailgate party. So you guys should join in the fun.
Okay, maybe we will.
Back in the old days, it would be like the schools would have like gang wars, right? We don't want any trouble. We just want a community of students to just interact with each other in good spirited rivalry. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let's talk cornhole. I'm a terrible cornhole player.
Me too.
But my family, we plan on being out there at some point on Saturday. So this is a fundraiser for the senior class.
Kind of.
Okay,
It's
go.
for our parent. So a bunch of the moms in the Paso community are putting on a prom for us. Like, because the school has so many restrictions and everything, they want to give us something that we actually can have fun at and really enjoy, because we have had for literally nothing the entire year, except they also did the homecoming for us in like February, for people who heard about that.
Which the homecoming, just so you know, like that was big news. You guys, I mean, what you guys were able to pull off was quite an accomplishment, and it like sent just shockwaves through the community. So great job. Kudos to you girls for doing that.
Thank you. Yeah, so the cornhole tournament is this Saturday. It's going to start at 10. Games are going to start around 11. And we have about 41 teams signed up right now, and then $1,850 just from donations for people who are saying like, oh, we can't go, but here's like the $50 for our team if we were to play, which is really cool. The support from our community is really big right now.
So 41 teams?
Yeah, so our goal was, I think 40. No, it was 40. But then we were like hoping around 50. We can take up to 60.
Okay, so how many like, I don't even know if you call them courts. How many games are going to be going at once?
It's 10, yeah.
So you'll have 10 kind of courts or fields.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have 20 teams competing at once. So you're going to have like almost 3 rounds of first round competition, right?
Yeah. And
Okay.
spectators are welcome too, so people can come, and there'll be food and beverage available, so they can come and eat and drink and watch the games being played.
Now, is this primarily a contest that's parent competitors, or is it all ages?
It's going to be all ages. I know there's high school teams. I know there's even like maybe a middle schooler team. I know it's like it goes from parents to kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I totally didn't hear a word you said. It
I'm
was
so
like
sorry. It's gonna be from all ages. So there's gonna be some high schooler teams. There's some parent teams. It goes from all ages. And there's also an auction afterwards, or kind of during. That's gonna be going on as well. So like even if you're not playing cornhole, come and auction.
Yeah, we have
Okay.
a bunch of items up for silent auction, and there's actually quite a few. I think there's almost like 30 items, like baskets of stuff that people can bid on.
That's weird. I checked my email. I didn't have a request for me to sign PRHS Bearcats #3 baseball jersey as part of the auction. I mean, I looked all in my email thinking that you guys were going to reach out to me to ask me to sign a #3 jersey. Just never happened. So
They retired that number.
yeah, missed opportunity there. You guys could have made like $7. Okay, so let's talk adult beverages. Is this a thing where adults can go enjoy a glass of wine or a beer and play cornhole at the same time?
Yeah, and if you come early enough, I've heard there's going to be mimosas too.
Wait, say it again. You're
come
muffling your
If you come earlier at like around 11, there's going to be mimosas too.
mimosas. Okay, very
Yeah.
cool. I'm on a 75 hard challenge, which means no alcohol for 75 days and no sugar. So I wouldn't be able to do any of that. But
That is
there's
terrible.
right. Tell me about it. But for those of you who aren't drinking, there's also going to be tons of beverages that are available. I'm sure water, soda, and it's at the Ravine,
Mhm.
right? Doors open at 10.
Yeah, they open at 10.
Okay, and the first beanbag gets tossed out when?
Around 11.
Around 11 o'clock. Okay, so you're thinking you're gonna wrap up the day at what time?
Around 4.
4?
It's not like a designated time. We're just kind of seeing how long the games go and how long people want to hang out. We are expecting around 4, but earlier or later, it doesn't really matter to us.
Okay, all right. For some reason, your audio got jacked up, and you guys are like all muffled up now. I don't know what's going on.
I'm so sorry.
It
Because of
sounded
our
great.
janky setup.
Oh, there you go. Okay, that's way
better?
better.
Okay.
Better. Yeah. All right. So if I've got stuff going on in the morning and I can't get down there, I can show up at any time before 4, buy a beverage, buy a snack, watch the competition, make a donation.
We're going to have a live DJ there too, so there'll be music and entertainment for that as well.
Oh, cool. Who's the DJ?
I don't remember the name. I think it was, I don't want to say the wrong name. I want to say David something, but that could be completely wrong.
Okay. Well, we'll just say something. Well, that's cool. So live music. Is there a dance floor?
I don't know if there's going to be a dance floor, but it's, yeah, I mean, there'll probably be room.
Perfect. Good. Okay. I'm just trying to plan for which shoes I need to wear. Okay, cool. So cornhole this Saturday at the Ravine. This, to my knowledge, is the first cornhole tournament fundraising event like this that I've heard of. It's kind of like a golf tournament, but not a golf tournament. It's something that's way easier for people to play. And for those of you who've never played cornhole, or you're scratching your head going, what is cornhole? Explain to us what the game of cornhole is and what the rules are.
So basically, you have 2 boards with a hole in it, and you have bean bags, and you're set a certain amount of feet apart, and you're trying to aim to get either on the board or in the hole. It's 2 points, I believe, when you get it in the hole, and 1 point when you get it on the board. Yes.
Okay, and then so it's kind of like horseshoes, right? One person from the team is on this side, the other person from the other team is on the other side, or like you guys are split up. You're not on the same side as your teammate.
Yeah, you're not on the same side as your teammate. So you'll have your opponent next to you when you're on the other side of the board.
Got it. Okay, and the games go up to how many points? Do you guys know?
I believe we're going 21.
21.
That's what it usually goes to. They might modify it and make it 11 for the tournament, but I'm pretty positive it's 21.
Okay. All right. So games to 21. We've got 40-ish teams that'll probably turn into, I don't know, probably like 300 teams by the time this segment's over, because everybody's just going to want to DM me and be like, dude, how do I get in on this? I want to play cornhole. So you're going to have a ton of teams, games to 21. Is it single elimination, double elimination?
It's double elimination.
Okay. So you can suck once, but not twice.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. And how about like midday trades? Like if my partner is just not cutting it, can I bounce him or her and get somebody else in there?
You know, I'm not too sure about that. I'm going to say no. I haven't actually read all the rules yet because they go out to the players today. But I'm going to say probably not. So pick your teammate wisely.
Okay. How about any like temperature checks, COVID tests, rapid COVID tests, anything COVID relating happening at this event?
There will be masks available at check-in, and are they doing temperature checks?
I'm not sure. They might.
They might do temperature checks at the check-in, but there will definitely be masks available.
Okay. All right. So we don't have to show our vaccination card or anything crazy? Okay, good deal. All right. And then, of course, you know, if you're drinking or eating, you don't have to wear your masks, but are masks going to be required as you're playing? Do we know?
Masks are encouraged. It's personal preference with us. So it's whatever you feel comfortable with.
Okay, awesome. And then, so the Ravine is, did they donate the use of their space, or is that an expense for this fundraiser?
No, the Ravine donated their space for us.
That's awesome. So that's Brett Butterfield and his group over there. Thank you so much. That's an amazing thing that you've done for the senior class at Paso. That's a great venue for you guys to have this event. Is there going to be water?
Yes, there will be.
Okay. And
Lots
is it,
of it.
and it's not open though, right? Like,
What do you mean?
no, like water in the water park.
Oh, water. No, there won't be water in the water park. I thought you meant like drinking water.
Yeah, drinking water. Is there going to be? Of course, there's going to be drinking water. Come on.
No, the park won't be open. I do believe he has a new mini golf area, so there might be like 1 or 2 holes open to play mini golf and test it out. But
Okay.
the water park will not be open.
Fantastic. Okay, so but that's a cool place and it's awesome. It's a great setup for you guys to be able to get that tournament done there. And it's kind of like a little. And we're gonna have beautiful weather on Saturday.
Yeah.
It's gonna be mid 80s. It's gonna feel like. All right, quick story, girls. Gather around while I tell an old man story. When I was in college, I was in a fraternity. And we would put on these events where we would invite all the sororities to come out and do competitions. And so this feels like it's one of those types of deals where a bunch of teams and music going and everybody's laughing and having a good time and celebrating. The music's great and the sun's shining. It sounds like it's going to be a blast.
It will be, hopefully.
I'm excited. And obviously you guys are going to be doing like Instagram live or Facebook or like are people who aren't there going to be able to see what's going on?
So if you have Instagram, there's a Paso Prom 2021 account, and we'll probably be live on that around 11 when the games start. And then anyone who's like involved, so like Jill Smith, Cheryl Presley, Vicky Luna, they're gonna go live, or Jen Lowen, they're gonna go live on their own Facebooks. So it'll be live on some other people too.
Okay. Let's see here. IG live Saturday. What time's class? Am I keeping you girls?
We have to go. Are you staying?
I can stay.
Yeah, Becca's gonna stay so she can still answer your questions.
Yeah.
All right, just tell them if you need a pass. Just tell them that the freshman class president from 1991, Paso Robles Bearcats, is allowing you girls to stay late.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so that's good stuff. We can watch it live. It's at Paso Prom 2021 is the Instagram where you guys are going to be going live on Saturday if you guys want to check out any of that information. Okay, anything else you want to get across to us before we let you go?
Just because there's gonna be alcohol and stuff there, kids are allowed to come. I know a cute little family is coming, so it's family friendly. We target all ages. And even though the auction items may be kind of more selected towards like wives, there's a lot of options for husbands too. So there's like guy stuff for them to auction too.
Okay, perfect. That's so cool. I can't wait. I know I'm going to at least get out there for, soda water and just to kind of check it out and walk around. And I think my wife wanted to go get a beer out there and just have a good day out there. So I'm excited. Congratulations. This is a fun event that you girls are doing. And I know it's going to be super successful. If people still want to sign up and get involved, what's the information that they need in order to do that? Oh, I think her signal locked up. Well, we lost them. Okay, so I will make sure that I get the contact information for these girls so that you guys can sign up to join in the fun. It sounds like it's going to be a blast. A great event for Paso Robles High School seniors. Yeah, I know it's the Bearcats. It's not the Eagles. But hey, all one community. We're all one big community. I look at this area is anything south of Del Rio and anything north of San Miguel or south of north of Del Rio, south of San Miguel. It's all one big community, and so fun, friendly rivalries between the schools and the kids, but they're all friends, and we're all a part of one big community. So awesome thing for these girls to put together, and I wish them all the success. And if you guys want to be involved, DM me. I'll get you the information. I'll find it here shortly and post where you guys can sign up. So Anthony, what happened? Were you sleeping in?
No, I was looking up some information for you that I put in the chat.
Okay, let me pull that up. Let's see here. What do we got? All right, so Sheriff Parkinson's going to be on Coast 104.5. Is he on right now?
I'm listening to it. He hasn't come on yet, but he's on. Actually, he's on right now. Actually,
okay.
You can hear it.
Good. Little rundown, but other than that, good.
Cool. Okay.
So that's Ian Parkinson right now on Coast 104.5. So for those of you that are wanting to watch the arraignment of Paul Flores and Ruben Flores, I did post the link in the chat as well. So it's on slowcourts.com or I'm sorry, .gov. And I did post some directions on how to get to the case. So it's either in District 3 or District 6. It's kind of unconfirmed, but I'm going to be checking out both streams. So we'll see which one it comes on.
I feel like they said it was 3 yesterday during the press conference.
Yeah, I did too. But then I looked on the actual arraignment list, and it said it bumped him down to District 6.
Got it.
So who knows? So
okay. So yeah, in case you want to tune out of our show right now and go into 104.5 FM, Ian Parkinson's doing an interview there, so you can hear that. But if you don't want to, if you want to listen to us instead, you're more than welcome to. We don't have any riveting information that you would get otherwise with Sheriff Parkinson, but at least we're fun to look at. I don't know. All right, so that's at 8:30 is the arraignment. You can click on the link in the chat to watch that, and then we'll go from there. All right, any other interesting news going on in the county?
No, not other than that.
Okay.
I'm just trying or what district that this is going to be on, so I can post the link to the stream by the end of the show.
Okay. All right. Well, keep us posted on that, and we will check back with you at the end of the show.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Anthony. All right, Anthony Reed, Paso Robles Incidents and Actions. You can find his Facebook page, facebook.com/Paso Robles Incidents. And so we will stay on top of that in the chat. You can click on the links to watch that arraignment. All right, at this time, I'm going to replay the interview that we had with Coach Tompkins, who's the baseball coach, the head varsity baseball coach, in case you missed it. Great guy, awesome program. He's got a good group of guys. And coaches as well. And so I will note he did, he sent me a text after the interview, and I'm just going to read it to you guys, Rob. Rob wanted me to make sure that I got across to you guys that he forgot to mention Randy Botts and the MOT crew. The field looks the best it's ever looked in the 3 years he's been there, and he wanted to thank them for the efforts and appreciate them working hard with the program. Definitely a team effort. So Randy Botts and the MOT crew, the baseball team, and specifically Coach Tompkins is very appreciative of your efforts, and so are we. So great job out there, and thanks for doing what you do. All right, so with that being said, here we go. I'm going to kick it off the interview, and we will check back with you in a little bit. All right, at this time, let's move into varsity baseball. I'm just getting Rob's caption up. Let's see if we can change it. That was weird. I have no volume. Let me see if I can do that again here. THS baseball, boom. All right, at this time, let's move into varsity baseball. I'm just getting Rob's caption up. Let's see if we can change it, and then I will invite him into the show. There it is. All right, Coach Tompkins, how are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, man. You're like a ghost. It's been hard to get you on the show, but we finally got you.
Yeah, it's been a pretty busy 2 months trying to get the kids prepared, get them ready for the season. So I apologize for not being available. A lot of behind the scenes type stuff going on.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Hey, before we dive into your team and everything, the banners that you have in the background, are those Giants banners?
Yes, they are.
All right, I need you to turn your camera so we can't see those. They're kind of
I knew you were gonna say that.
the Giants are an awesome organization. I'm a huge Dodgers guy, but the Giants have a great organization. I can respect them.
Well, the feelings are mutual.
Yeah,
That's why they call it a rival.
It's a great rivalry for sure. So, all right. So, for those of you who don't know, Coach Tompkins, you've been with the program now. Is this your third season as the head coach?
This is my third season.
Okay. So give us a little bit of your background, how you got involved with, coaching youth sports and how you ended up here at this spot.
Well, it all started back in probably the late 90s with my daughter playing softball. And then I had both girls playing softball, and then my little guy was born, and all of a sudden there was t-ball and youth baseball and all-stars and travel ball. And then I got a call one day about 2 years after I retired in 2019 that they're about ready to lose the JV program because they didn't have a coach. So I forfeited my last year coaching at the youth program and decided to take on the varsity job, which I thought was a great opportunity, knowing that I'd be able to coach those kids that I've been coaching for years.
Yeah.
So 10 days into the job, there were some things that went down and at the varsity level, and that coach was let go. So I was asked to step into that role. Didn't know whether that was going to be permanent. Didn't know whether that was going to just be an interim thing. But as it worked out, the school liked what they saw. We had a good coaching staff that I brought aboard, and we made it all the way to the semifinals in CIF in playoffs that year from a team that we started 2-7.
Wow. That's incredible. And a lot of those players, that was 2019?
2019, yes.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, you had, who did you have on that? Macer was on that team?
Macer and Justice Gibbons. Macer Lardner and Justice Gibbons were my only two seniors that year.
Okay.
And I only had two juniors that year too as well. So that team was comprised of freshmen and sophomores. Really.
And so those kids are now your varsity seniors.
So now that primarily that sophomore group and freshman group is now our varsity team. So It's nice. This is our third year together.
Huh. That's awesome. I was out there on Saturday, caught the last inning. The week before I watched the whole game, but I mean, I'm a pitcher. Like I was a pitcher as a kid. I love watching defense. Like a pitcher that can throw ground balls that your defense allows your defense to make plays. Your infield is like damn near flawless. They're solid.
I can tell you that is one of the things that we concentrate most on, and we depend to be solid. As a smaller school, your defense has to be one of the best on the field in order to keep us in ball games. If our defense isn't there, we play these bigger programs that can hit. If we can't hold these teams to runs, it can turn ugly quick.
Sure.
So we pride ourselves in our defense. Like I said, this is our third year with this group. I think Saturday we had a .973 fielding percentage.
Huh.
Right. And even in 2019, we had a .993 fielding percentage throughout the year. Wow. And that was definitely our success between the elite pitching that we have and defense. It's what keeps us in ball games, and then we just expect to have those timely hits to keep us going.
Yeah, I mean your bats are gonna get hot and cool off and get hot and cool off because that's just how baseball works.
Right.
But yeah, your defense is definitely what's gonna win those ball games in those close games. Super scrappy, right? Just I mean the ending on Saturday is like a total that's like a prototypical Giants scrappy 2014 team that just figured out a way to win ball games over and over again.
And sometimes it doesn't have to be pretty. You know, it has to be just little things. You know, even as far as getting a bunt down, moving a runner over, scoring a run on a sac fly. Those things sometimes as coaches we have to be and players we have to just generate runs and put ourselves in the best position to score runs, especially when our bats aren't hitting well. But I know we'll get there. We've had games where our bats exploded, so it kind of like you said, it comes and goes. But the thing that I always pride our team on is making sure that we can defend and that our pitchers do their job, because that's how we stay and that's how we win ball games.
Yeah, I mean, and from a pitcher standpoint, not only is it hitting your spots, knowing the situations, it's once the ball's in play, what do you do? And to see, I mean, I've watched all of your pitchers this year bounce off that mound as soon as that ball's in play and go where they need to go, whether it's a little dribbler in the infield or whether it's becoming a cutoff man or covering home. Like, those guys are moving off that mound and making sure that they're in the right spots, which, you know, not every pitcher, a pitcher is typically somebody with an ego who thinks they're better than everybody else. But, you know, your pitchers are scrappy and they're out there to win ball games too, which is cool.
Yeah, we call that getting caught up in the moment if they're just standing around. So believe it or not, that's something we practice twice a week. Whether it's where we put the kids in live scenarios, and we make sure that the kids are in the positions that they need to be. Because what most people don't understand about baseball, even though the ball's not hit to you, everybody has a job.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
It's something that we definitely practice on, and that's why we like to see it when it actually and it comes and you see it in the game. When you practice it and it actually happens in the game, it's actually a cool thing to watch.
Yeah, no, for sure. Everybody, it's a very coordinated dance that's being done once that ball's in play, and then the situation changes it too, right? So two outs, man on second, 1 out, man on second. Like there's so many different game situations that you have to rehearse, right? Because that's really what you're doing is rehearsing.
Yeah, a lot of game situations. We try to practice those things. We put runners on bases. We put our defense through live scenarios, and we do that as batting as well too. You know, when we'll put runners on base when we're practicing, we'll scrimmage. Sometimes we make it a competition just so the kids are having fun with it,
sure,
so they don't get bored of it, and it's kind of fun to watch the competition just even within the team.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the kids are a super tight knit group of boys. They all seem to have fun with each other. Joke around with each other, which you're always going to get.
That's part of baseball.
I remember we put itching powder in our catcher's face mask, thinking that we were being funny. And then, you know, that was like this huge blow up. Coach Alvord just kind of reamed us because us pitchers, you know, we're joking around with our catcher, but our catcher is the one who makes us look great. Right. So, yeah. So,
right.
I had to run about 7 miles for that one. That was not a fun one, but
there are consequences to joking around.
Right, totally, yeah. Talk about your coaching staff. Who do you have on staff with you at the varsity level?
Okay, this year we brought back Rene Regalado. He was with me in 2019. It was just when we started in 2019, it was just him and I, and. You know, the one thing that I realized when we started playing and we started getting into and we started playing some of these bigger programs, I noticed that a lot of these bigger programs had like a lot more coaches rather than just 2 coaches. So that was something that I built up last year. We found a catcher coach to come in and kind of help out our catchers, an outfielder coach, and then we had a bench coach that was able to take care of the bench. And then I kind of just managed the game and coached third last year. But this year, I brought Rene came back. So he's my third base coach now. TJ Durfee, he's kind of a hitting outfield coach for us. This is his second year, and he helped out a lot. And he coaches first base. So this is actually the first year that I haven't coached bases. So it's actually kind of nice to sit back and watch and manage the game and not be able to have to coach bases and manage at the same time. especially when your home dugout or wherever your visitor dugout's in the first base dugout, and I'm coaching third, and I'm having to yell all the way across the field
Right.
to get the kids to do what I need them to do. So it is a luxury. So I have Renee, which is the guy's awesome. We share a lot of baseball strategies together. We bounce things off each other. There's sometimes we don't agree, but we learn to work those things out. And but he's awesome. He's definitely a player's coach. The kids love him. So that's a tribute to Renee. Like I said, TJ, the kids love him too. He's an outfield hitting coach. And then I've got Randy Kozar. Randy Kozar, he's kind of a catcher bench coach. He takes care of all the catchers and makes sure that, especially when it comes to bullpens, when we get kids ready to come into a game, that's his role. And then I've got Tony Dominguez, which he's a do-it-all. He's my bench coach. He does my books for me. He keeps stats with TJ on the opposing teams. So it's just it's nice to have an array of staff that everyone has their job, and that's actually kind of been the success the last few years of having those extra coaches to do all the small things that now I don't have to do, so I can pay more attention to the game and put our kids in position to win.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's great. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you. Five, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had 2 coaches as a varsity team in Paso as a kid. But yeah, you're right. Like it seems like there's more and more specialists on staff that are kind of dedicating themselves to helping these teams. And then so your pitching rotation, is it you have 3, 4, 5 starters that you kind of rotate through, or?
Well, the plan was to have at least 4 this year.
Okay.
I'm still waiting for to see if maybe Trent's going to be able to come back. He's got a little issue right now, but he's working through it. He actually threw his first bullpen yesterday.
Oh, good.
So as of right now, I got 3 or 4 starters that can go. We still have some pitchers that we're still developing. We don't want to necessarily throw them into the fire just yet, but we're making sure that Renee's the type of person that he'll tell me, you know, if this kid's ready, then we'll put him in. If he's not ready, then we'll continue to work bullpens. We continue to practice with them, and but come now that we started our league this week, we have doubleheaders on Saturdays. Those kids will be throwing on that Saturday.
Yeah, tons of reps for sure.
Yeah, we've got about 3, 4, 5 starters, and then about two relief pitchers, 2, 3 relief pitchers.
And as far as the league goes, who are you guys? I know you don't want to kind of forecast out too much, but who's the big competition in the league this year? Who's got good teams?
Well, Arroyo Grande's always been a really good baseball program. They're big. They've got probably 20 some kids on their roster, and they're playing at a level right now. I think they're 8-0. Paso Robles has a good team. They've got probably some kids that are probably going to go on and play at the next level, at least 2 or 3 on that level. So those, and then SLO, I'm not sure where they're at this year, but those are the 3 D1 teams that play in our league. And then you always have St. Joe. St. Joe is kind of they're kind of like us. We're kind of a small private school, and just they're scrappy.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, I'd probably say that the main teams that are and then you can't forget about Rigetti. Rigetti won the league 2 years ago. And they always bring a tough team. And as soon as their football season's done, they're going to be back to another powerhouse. So I say the top 3 teams. They all play D1. We're a D3 team. But I would say Arroyo Grande, Paso, Rigetti, probably the 3 tough teams in that division. But I'm planning on with this team this year and last year. There's no reason why our teams can't compete with those teams this year.
Sure.
We definitely have the pitching and defense to go with that. It's about us putting runs on the board and keeping up with those teams and shutting those teams down. And making sure our defense stops those teams from scoring.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And your season's over end of May?
Yeah, very end of May. Yeah.
Okay.
So we start the league this week, and we'll be playing. I think it's 5 teams. So 5 teams, and so you have Rigetti, Slow, Cascadero, St. Joe, and Paso Robles.
Okay.
And then we have a week bye there, but I end up putting 2 more games in our bye week just so we can keep on playing.
Nice. And do you have any athletes coming over from football once football ends?
There's a possibility of 1 or 2.
Okay.
I know that I've been in talks with Tyler. But it's one of those things that football does take a toll on your body.
Yeah.
And whether he decides to come back, I told him, he played for us last year, and he had a phenomenal year until we got shut down. So if he comes back, it just improves our team. But on the other end of that, if they don't come back, then you kind of just got to prepare the team to play without the football players. It's kind of a weird year where you've got multiple sports going on at one time. So, but yeah, no, I'm looking forward to them coming back. But if they don't, I've prepared the team to go on without them, because it's just that weird year with the whole COVID thing and multiple sports going on that we're just trucking forward.
Yeah, no, and the boys that ultimately want to get out there and work hard are out there, and they're doing it. So.
Absolutely.
That's cool. So what do you got this week? You got a game today?
We play Slow at our park on Wednesday. And then we go to their park on Saturday for a doubleheader.
Okay. And so as far as spectators go at the home field, I think as it stands right now, we can have up to 2 or 4.
2. I think what they're trying to do is they're going 2 per player and then 2 per coach.
Okay.
But that doesn't include all our support staff. Our support staff are in there. And some of those support staff are parents too. So obviously we're able to get a couple more spectators under the kids that that as far as count wise, that's we're able to get a couple more based on that.
Yeah, for sure. And for those of you who are interested in watching the games, but don't have a player on the team, you can probably email the boosters. They're always looking for volunteers to help with the snack bar. That's in fact how I get in to watch the games. Is I'm working the snack bar, and in between customers, I'm popping out and watching the plays. And so it's a great way to spend a Saturday. I can tell you that much. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I tell you, it's been nice. This is the first year that we've had the snack bar open.
Oh, cool.
It's much appreciated.
Very cool. Well, that's all the boosters. Mindy, Melinda, Allison, they're handling it. I just come in and work it. I don't want to take any credit for that. But yeah, it is nice, and it seems like it's a great group of parents out there every weekend cheering the kids on. The game against Santa Maria was a great finish. That was so much fun to watch at the plate at the end. And then one last question. Connor's in the park home run the week before last.
Right.
Is he the fastest guy on the team?
Believe it or not, he's not.
He's not?
He's not. He is fast. He's one of our fastest kids, but I think there might be 1 or 2 that might even be faster than him.
Oh, wait, somebody told me that Robbie's really fast.
Robbie can hold his own. I tell you, there's between Robbie, Connor, and Trent, these guys are pretty quick. And then there's a couple other guys. They got some. They don't look fast, but they're speedy. You take a person like Merrick Hall, he's really fast too. So
yeah,
that's kind of one of those things that for us, it's like you just gotta be scrappy. You gotta use your legs, on the base pass and get us in positions to score. And it's kind of nice having kids with speed.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's cool. And so far this season, relatively injury free. No major things going on.
No, that's one thing that we did earlier in the season was we started back in January and just started our conditioning program. And we did a lot of speed and agility and power stuff. And that was really just to get the kids in playing position or playing shape so we could prevent injuries. And then we do a lot of maintenance. You know, we do a lot of arm maintenance for our pitchers and for kids that experience arm fatigue. We have an icing program. We work well with Archie, the athletic trainer. And we talk a lot, Archie and I, and we talk a lot about the kids and any specific injuries that they may be experiencing. We put them on a program to get them to return slowly. We do a couple drills to make sure that they're cleared to play. And because we don't have a whole lot of numbers, so, you know, I think we've got 14 on our roster.
Wow.
And so, yeah, an injury could really put us in a deep spot if we don't maintain and keep the kids healthy this year.
Yeah, I can't stress enough, and we've talked about it throughout the week so far. Archie is like the man of a million places at once. I mean, the guy is covering every athlete, every sport at all times. He's definitely one of the unsung heroes of the athletic program, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate when he's out there and what he does for the kids. Honestly, I think I wish my kids would use him more often.
Sure.
You know, I kind of end practice a little early enough to, if the kids need to go get ice or be seen or stretched, that I let them leave practice and get over to see Archie before they go home.
Yeah. No, absolutely. All right. Well, Coach, I'll let you go. Real quick. Do you want to? I know that you guys rebuilt the mound a few weeks back. Who are the two? There was a couple different companies that helped you. You gonna plug them real quick?
Well, I can tell you that Tony Dominguez has been ahead of it all, and he's gone out. And I know that, and we're actually getting new dugout rails to where it was nice. Paul Winkler made a very generous donation to the program and softball, and we're utilizing that donation, and we're trying to make field improvements. So we want to improve our dugout. We're trying to push out the rail about six feet, and then to where we actually have a real dugout.
Sure.
And so and then Norelli Welding, they're the ones that did the rails. And then, but Tony went out and he got all the clay and organized and put it all together. So, you know,
Yeah.
I can't take credit for it all. I just kind of, I had an idea and a dream of what I wanted. I showed him, I drew it up for him, and Tony and all his staff from the Norelli Welding Company. These guys put it all together. They put it on blueprints, and it should be installed this week.
That's great. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Yeah. I mean, what a special community. You know, you have companies like that and people in the community coming to help these kids, and then you've got Coach Joe Farley calling the fire department to come over and keep an eye on you guys, and the fire department rolls out and watches the game and makes sure that they have staff available. Like, that doesn't happen at LA Unified. That doesn't happen at all of these other districts throughout the state. I mean, we're living in one of the last great small American towns, right, in California.
Oh, absolutely. You know, Brandon Wall is a good friend of mine, and he helps out whenever we can, and we have a pretty tight relationship with the fire department, and they know our schedule. They always come out and watch when they can, and they're there when they can. And so, and the kids love it. We appreciate the support we get from the community. We're hoping, like, within the next week or two, that we'll have all our senior banners up. We've got a team poster coming up. So within the next couple of weeks, we want to make this place look like a ballpark and a place that people will come see. Something you'd see at maybe at the collegiate level, pro level, where you see banners of players and big signs. And so these are changes that I definitely have been wanting to do for the last 3 years. It's just, you know, funds aren't always there. The sport isn't always there. But this year, we're making things happen this year.
Awesome. Well, you've definitely, in your retirement, set yourself up with a dream job, being the coach of this great little school And to make it even better, you've got players, right? I mean, these kids are solid. So
yeah, no, this group of kids is special. That's the reason why I wanted to get all the things done this year.
yeah,
Like I said, this is my third year with them. I've got 6 seniors that are going to be graduating this year. So I wanted to really make this year special for them, and that was part of it. That was improving the dugouts, getting the in a real baseball field to where we're going to have screens and banners on our rails, screen and banners on the back of our backstop, and then big 3x6 posters of our seniors up on the fences.
that's so cool.
It's gonna have like a big league collegiate field.
Nice. Well, awesome. And congratulations on the success so far this year. And we wish you the best of luck throughout the rest of the season. And hopefully you'll come on every week or so and give us an update. We'll talk more game by game, like Coach Crow gives us his weekly update of what to expect for the games coming up. But yeah, I'd like to get you in to do that on a weekly basis. And for this first interview, it was nice to kind of get to know you and your backstory and the coaching staff, and really kind of get to know the program as a whole. So thank you so much for all of the stuff that you do in your time to give our kids, honestly, one of the best experiences that they can get as a student athlete. So thank you.
No, you're welcome. It's my pleasure.
All right, Coach Tompkins, we appreciate you coming in. We'll see you later.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks. All right, so that's Coach Rob Tompkins, who is the head baseball coach here at Templeton High School. It's 8:46 right now. I've got on standby on my second screen over here. I'm watching districts or the courtroom number 6 here of the San Luis Obispo Superior Court, where they're going to bring in Mr. Paul Flores and his dad, Ruben Flores, to do the arraignment, I believe, this morning here. It's kicked off at 8:30, but it's live streaming. It's Department 6. It's a live stream. I put it in the chat. I'm not allowed to rebroadcast this, so I'm not going to, but what I am going to do is keep it on the second screen and just kind of do play-by-play for those of you who aren't able to click on the link and go watch it yourself. We're just about ready, wrapping up the show here this morning. But this is a pretty, obviously a huge kind of local story that everybody's been tracking for the last 25 years, with major developments in this last week, with Sheriff Parkinson and his team arresting both Paul Flores and his dad, Ruben Flores, and for the murder of Kristen Smart, and then for Paul Flores, and then for the dad, Ruben Flores, the aiding, I guess they would call it, or I forget what the charge specifically is for him, but an accessory to what happened. Yeah, this is a big story that we've been tracking for the better part of 25 years. And Kristen is she was my age. She was a freshman in college when I was a freshman in college. She was in the dorms when Allison was in the dorms at Cal Poly the same year. I had friends that lived in the same dorms as Kristen. And so, yeah, this story has been one that we've been tracking all of our adult life. And as I have a daughter going off to college here in 3 months, obviously this is something that is hitting close to home for me and many people. And so, in the spirit of I guess you would call it, with the Morning Buzz, the goal of the show being news, information, community, and positivity. Obviously, this is, some hard news that we're reporting on. Obviously, that's kind of outside the norm of what we want to do with the show. However, in the spirit of community and positive movement forward, this is something that I think is important for our residents, our county, and obviously for the Smart family. And so I feel a sense of responsibility to at least track it on my end and give the information out to my audience as well. And so Whether you choose to listen and get updates from me or not, that's totally up to you. I just feel like that if I have this platform where you guys are tuning into, and you're relying on me to report news, information, ultimately spreading positivity and community, then I'm gonna do that. And so we're just standing by, waiting right now for the court to be in session here. And so I'll invite Anthony Reed in to watch it with us. Anthony, what are you hearing on your end?
I have been in communication with Alexa Bertola from KSBY, and she's in court on a regular basis. I mean that in the most respectful way in terms of news reporting. And she says that it's normal for them to start anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes late. And so she says that what we're watching right now is normal. People are still arriving there, and those that are an intricate part of the case are still kind of gathering, and as soon as they have everybody there, they're going to bring everybody in. So.
Okay, good deal. All right. So just to give you an update real quick. Tomorrow's Friday. On our show tomorrow, we're going to have the Irish Oaks Farm update that we bring you every Friday. I did see that the Garrett family, they had baby goats this week that they posted on their Instagram. If you don't follow their Instagram, you should go. It's at Irish Oaks. You can see real video of baby goats being born, which is kind of cool. So they're going to give us the farm update tomorrow. We're going to have Melissa Johnson with the Parks and Rec Department checking in with us to give us a weekly update in regards to what's happening in and around Templeton. And Mr. Mack's going to be in, of course, as well. We're going to try to do an artist showcase tomorrow. I've got to lock down my artist still, but I think I've got one in mind that's going to come on next week. We're going to have Donna, I don't know Donna's last name. Donna is her band, and Lulu and the Cow Tippers. She's got a couple different bands that she's in. She's going to come in next Friday with her guitar player, Todd, who Todd happens to be one of my best friends and plays in my band with me. They're going to come in next week. We're going to get to know them and listen to some of their music as well. But tomorrow, I think I'm going to try to lock down Rolf. I'm not sure he's available yet, but I'm going to see what if he can come on the show with us and share some music and stories. So yeah, we had a good week. It's Thursday. It's going to be mid 70s today. Right now, currently outside, it is, what is it? Current temperature outside is 43 degrees. It's going to be about 70 degrees today. So that's what we're looking at in terms of weather. Anthony, real quick before they pop in and get going, any other incidents or accidents to report in and around the county? I think we lost him.
Nope. CHP is just traffic enforcement for construction, which is out 46. Oh, you lost me?
No, you're back. Oh, maybe he's not back. I don't know. We lost him. Well, he popped out, so he's gone. All right, so we're just waiting for the courtroom to be occupied by the judge, Judge Van Rooyen is presiding over this arraignment of Paul Flores and Ruben Flores in Department 6. The link, if you want to catch this live stream, you can click on it. Judging from the viewers that were on the show that have left, I would imagine a lot of you guys have bounced over to that. So yeah, I'm watching it. I'm gonna, obviously I can't rebroadcast it because of copyright issues, but I'm gonna try my best, if we stay on till 9 o'clock, give you some play-by-play if they go on. So Anthony, we lost you there. Are you there? Yeah, we've got a little bit of a delay with him, so he's not happening. So we are testing our bandwidth this morning. I've got live streams going on 2 different screens on my phone, and then obviously live streaming the show as well. So the Thursday, April 15th edition of the Morning Buzz, we had we had a good show today. We want to thank the girls from Paso Robles High School for joining us, talking about the cornhole tournament. And if you'd like more information on the cornhole tournament, please email me. It's morningbuzzaroundtown@gmail.com. I'm sure you can get there and sign up at 10 a.m. at the Ravine on Saturday if you want to be a part of it. I believe to enter into the tournament, it's $50 a team. And it's a double elimination tournament. There's 41 teams so far. They're prepared to take up to 60. Their goal was 40, and they're at 41, and they can take up to 60. So 19 teams left to sign up if you guys want to get out there. I know that at one point I was talking about doing a team with Billy Thompson, who's my good buddy, one of my best buds, my best friend, who plays in the band with me. He was going to do a team, and we were going to do it together. But I volunteered to go over to another friend of mine's house to help him, our pastor at church. We're putting some mud in this backyard. And so I don't know what time I'll be done on Saturday with that. But once I'm done, I'm going to jet on over to the Ravine and do that thing with them. So it should be fun Saturday afternoon. Yeah, so I'll get you the information. DM me, message me, email me if you want to get the latest on how to be involved with that. They're also taking donations, and you could just go and watch and enjoy the day too. They're going to have a live DJ there, and plenty of other things going on. An auction that you can take part in. It's a silent auction with they have some stuff that they're auctioning off. So that's cool. That's the cornhole tournament. We also want to thank Mr. Lewis for coming in today. Eric Lewis, a day late, but that's all right. He wasn't $1 short. He came in with 2 fun facts about history. One, tax day. Obviously, the history of our taxes in the U.S. It was illegal to have income taxes, I guess, until 1909 or 1913. And it was 2% tax back then, and now it was the highest, and now it's 37.5%. It's the highest now. So obviously the I guess evolvement of our is evolvement a word? I don't know. Evolution, that's the word that I was looking for, of our taxes and whatnot has been an interesting journey. So he gave us that fact. He also gave us the fact about the Titanic, which hit an iceberg yesterday, right? In 1912, April 14th, 1912, hit an iceberg at 11:40 p.m. It sank 2.5 hours later, started to sink. The closest boat was the SS California, which was a British carrier that was 13 miles away, could have saved all of the passengers and the crew had they responded to the rocket flares that went off. But it was late at night, and the captain said, no, too many icebergs in the water. It's too late. We'll head over there tomorrow when we can see. Well, had they gone over there, they would have saved everybody, but they didn't. And so the closest boat took 4.5 hours to get there, which ended up saving some of the crew and passengers, but they had, I think he said, between 1,400 and 1,600 passengers die in that tragedy. And so that was, you think about that, like the number of people that came over on that boat, had the boat landed in the US or had those people been saved, how much different would our U.S. history be? Because that's 1,400 to 1,600 people that would have been a part of this country at that time, that would have married and had offspring and moved to certain areas of the country, and it would have changed the course of history for our country and the residents living in it. You don't know if there was, like, you know, how many potential Olympic athletes, for instance, could have been descendants of those people, or how many inventors, or how many doctors and surgeons or artists or musicians, you know, could have been, or teachers could have been descendants of the people that could have been saved. Yeah, it's just wild to think about all of the things in history that changed the course of what happens, right? And so And the same goes for any tragedy, really. How many missed opportunities do we have for people to contribute to the betterment of humankind? When life is cut short and lost in the wake of a tragedy like that, or 9/11 or something else. And so pretty crazy. So, all right, it's 9 o'clock. I'm going to end the show. I'm going to go onto this live stream at court and see if I can capture this. They're still not live, but you guys can go on, and the link is in the chat. So that's the show. Hey, real quick, Cynthia Nicholson did point out, I do want to announce varsity soccer is playing tonight against Morro Bay. Both have undefeated records, and the game is at home at 5:30. You can capture that on nhfsnetwork.com. It's live streaming there. Varsity soccer at home, undefeated against undefeated Morro Bay tonight at 5:30. So that's an exciting game to watch. Good stuff. So other than that, all right, that is the show, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks. Let's see here. Missed opportunities. Don't make today one of them for you. That's it. See you guys.